Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 23 with me, Dan, and the Slothz team. We picked up our second win last time out in Spain, quite unrealistically because we're only running a midfield car, and I think of the midfield teams we're kind of about 6th best overall, maybe 5th at a push behind the likes of Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, Aston Martin, and I think Alpine. But some interesting news though, Fernando Alonso will be retiring at the end of this season, so before we even get to see the Aston Martin be very competitive, he will be departing. So we're underway with all of the calendar items here. We're actually getting our upgrades to complete successfully this time, as compared to last time in Spain where pretty much everything failed at least once. And we'll pick up a quality control upgrade for the aerodynamics facility as well, because we're really going to need all of these things to pass. Ideally going forward, we'll do the same with the chassis department and the power unit departments later on. So carrying on with the season then, we're on to lap 6, we're on to race number 6, putting us almost halfway through the season. In fact, actually next week on Tuesday we'll kick off with the halfway point. As I mentioned in the last video as well, we also have the return of the co-op career, so we'd have done a few more races. Different to last time though, what I'm going to do with this time is record all of the races, edit all the videos, do all of the commentary with Nick, who has now renamed himself to Justin Fishpond, and then we'll release them all, maybe 2 to 3 per week, and then go off and make the next batch of them, just so we don't have to worry about making all of them all in one, well, each week, because it is a lot of pressure on me to try and get all of these videos done. I've had this week off work to try and get the first week of races done, and then these 3 as well. But the reason why we're going back to 2 races per week is because I actually need some downtime outside of work as well. Not only to stream, but to relax, do things with friends, and yeah, that's pretty much where we are with that. So keep an eye out for the co-op career in a few weeks' time. We're looking through R&D now, looking for some things. There's the front wing upgrade that we got last time. We're going to get another one in drag reduction, and then one more in power unit power. So then, more unnecessary power unit upgrades coming up for our car, hopefully. With the new difficulty now set to 95, we'll actually be able to have a fairly realistic experience out here, being beaten by the likes of Red Bull, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Mercedes, maybe even McLaren and Alpine in the corners, but on a straight line it may be a little bit more of an even playing field rather than us absolutely dominating as we have done so far. Anyway, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell as well, so you know when all these races are uploaded. You'll get to see the My Team career and the upcoming co-op career as well, which everybody apparently misses. Onto the starting grid for the Canadian Grand Prix, and on the front row it's Charles Leclerc alongside Max Verstappen. That's the second time we've had these two at the front this season, to my knowledge. It may even be the 3rd time. Further back down the order we have Sergio Perez and Lewis Hamilton, George Russell and Fernando Alonso. I'm in P7 alongside Lance Stroll, followed by Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon and Valtteri Bottas, Carlos Sainz and Jack Doohan up to 14th, Kevin Magnussen and Oscar Piastri, Alex Albon, Zhou Guanyu, penultimate row Nico Hulkenberg and Lando Norris, followed by Nick De Vries and Logan Sargent, the two who will be blessing the final row of the grid. I can pretty much guarantee through every single race this season, and any in the future as well, potentially. As we get down to the grid, no interesting stats to come up on the screen. We're still running the gloss paint, I believe, not the metallic paint. I did switch to matte at one point, which didn't think it really worked well with the car, so we've gone back to the shiny stuff. Okay, time for Canada then. We've basically won or done extremely well in all of the events here previously, so we'll be looking to get slightly better this time, although ideally we'll want to be fighting for it rather than just running away with the victory. As we come into turn 1, we're going to challenge Sergio Perez around the outside. We're both running the medium tyre here, so we're going to have fairly similar pace. Coming down towards turn 3 and 4. Perez goes a little wide there. Can we cut back at him as we come through to the kink? He cuts across in front of us there. Sergio Perez still holding some animosity for the amount of shorts and video clips that I upload about him on a weekly basis. Clearly wishing to continue that into F1 23 as well. Pierre Gasly now having a look as we were compromised through there, and he nearly had a look into the chicane, but we closed off that opportunity for him straight away. We've also got some action up here. Lewis Hamilton under pressure from his teammate George Russell. Potentially he's running the hards. We've got a yellow flag behind him. We had an accident already. Looks okay so far. This was our start. I think that was Stroll there we just left behind, or Alonso. Get past Perez into the braking zone, but being offline, he was able to come back at us, and we had to give him space around here. Moving up towards the chicane. Perez on the undesirable part of the track, runs wide, cuts back across, and then just blocks us completely there. I think that was just a little bit close for comfort. And this was his start, his onboard angle, losing positions to both Mercedes actually, so not a great start for Sergio Perez this time. Tries to line up behind the Mercedes. And we've seen this all before, so we'll skip ahead to lap 2. Still no DRS just yet, but Perez seems to have made a mistake going into the hairpin, and we're going to get a good drive out of the corner. He's not going to get the benefit of the slipstream too much of the Mercedes, who are a little bit far ahead of him now. As we close right up to the back of Sergio Perez here, we get hard on the brakes, go around the outside into the final chicane, and we get round nice and easy. And he's going to come back at us now. He's going to go left and right into turn 1. We're going to go brake early because I'm not sure what he was going to do, and then try and come back at him around the outside. But the Red Bull is too good out of the corners right now. Let's stay on board for the helicopter shot. Let's see where we can gain on him. There through the chicane, we seem to have maintained fairly close distance. It spreads out through some of these medium to high speed corners. And then particularly like places like that where we've got limited traction available compared to the Red Bull, he seems to have quite a significant advantage. We close up in the braking zone, and Perez remains ahead. This was the onboard angle for Sergio Perez at the end of lap 2. We've gone to the left-hand side, and he decides to cut the corner. I don't think he had much of a choice there. But then on the return out of the corner, goes left, but we block him, goes right, and we have to give him space, otherwise we'll cause an accident. And he gets past us. But an issue. Lap 3, he's put us in a great opportunity here with the DRS available on this coming straight. We've also got Pierre Gasly behind us still, running ahead of Fernando Alonso. Much to Alonso's dismay that he is watching his former team in front of him. DRS is open. We're going to deploy the ERS as well just to get as much clearance from Sergio Perez. He is fighting it though into the final chicane, but we have managed to clear him, and we can cut back across up ahead. Bit of a battle going on there for I'm not even sure what position that is. That might be the lead actually. Yeah, all 4 cars there. Lewis Hamilton drops back now behind his teammate, and I'm not sure who else it was a few laps ago trying to fight for that position. We're going to stay on board because it looks like he's going quite slow now. Lewis Hamilton running slow at the Canadian Grand Prix. We're going to go round the outside into the chicane, and he can't fight us for whatever reason, possibly picking up damage as a result of that battle earlier on. Let's see what happened. Oh, that's such an oversteer there. He's binned it into the wall of champions and allows his teammate to come back at him into turn 1 there. The wall of champions claiming yet another victim This time, though, one of the most decorated of all times, as we get to see the slow-mo, which I don't normally put on the channel too much. You can see there his wheel, he turned it to the right there as he began to lose the left, lose the rear, and just touched the barrier. He was lucky on simulation damage to not take even more damage than that, to be quite honest. I think that should have probably ripped his tyre off. This is what he was distracted by. Max Verstappen going up the ass of Charles Leclerc, who then joins dangerously instead of going around the barrier at the end of the chicane. An interesting strategy from Mad Leclerc, and Verstappen dispatches him fairly easily up the inside and takes away the lead. And it looks as though the heavens have opened just 7 laps into the race, but everyone's decided to slow down. I guess George Russell is running with the soft tyre, so he's going to be thinking about a pit stop anytime soon. The question is, will he want to go onto the intermediates or stay on his slick compound that he was planned to have? Whatever the decision is, though, we've got the DRS. We're going to go side by side with him now. He pulls ahead very slightly as we actually try and fight him by turning ours off occasionally, but we get around him into the chicane and leave him quite well and truly miles behind across the start-finish line. Our race engineer then confirming that slicks are the better option as we slide through the chicane behind Leclerc and Verstappen, both of whom have slowed down, and the rain has just gotten out of nowhere, has just picked up quite significantly. I don't think this is going to remain as a slick race. I know Australia was interested. 15 minutes more of heavy rain to come, and we're still on slicks here as we try and get past Charles Leclerc without using our ERS to at least make this race slightly more interesting. He goes wide there and we cut back across him, making contact on the way through the chicane, and that has brought out the safety car. Charles Leclerc quite rightly getting a 5-second penalty for doing this for the second time this race. Let's go on board with him. Goes defensive into the chicane, locks up, and rather than go through the runoff area, decides to continue through the corner and has paid the price dearly there by losing his front wing. Safety car is out, and as it's raining, the 30 series graphics card begins to bake in my PC. I had to spend significant time yesterday clearing out as much dust as possible to prevent this from happening again, but it doesn't appear to be working. Pit crew, put the tyres on. We've got an issue with the front left here. This is crucial that we get this done. Jack Doohan's now being held up, and Max Verstappen was able to retake net P1 away from us. We're starting in P6, though, after the safety car has come in, because for some reason 4 drivers decided that they didn't need intermediate tyres and are now paying the price for it by pitting at the restart. Carlos Sainz incredibly got past both Verstappen and I in the pit stops and is taken the lead of the Grand Prix. Unbelievable. Everyone's shuffled around because of all of the double stacking that went on. We're going to have a look at Verstappen again. We had a look into turn 1. We're going to have a look here as well. He's going a little bit all over the place. We don't risk pulling alongside him there after what Perez did to us earlier on, but we'll stick behind him. The driver's going incredibly slow, and I don't know if this is a me thing. I was a particular struggler on wet compound. Even just intermediates, it was a little bit slippery for me most of the time on previous games. And I don't know, that must be the handling model that they've updated. They've changed the grip levels and the traction. Not even locking up here as well, but one person that is Max Verstappen into the hairpin, and we just squeeze up the inside. Thank you very much. Close him off, stop him getting past, and yep, once again the updated handling model proving to be quite helpful for us as yeah, there he goes, locking the front right, and has to give us room because we've managed to sneak it up across the curb alongside him. And now we're chasing down Carlos of Sainz. Again, very slow through these corners. Potentially a difficulty issue, potentially a handling issue, and my skills becoming much better than they used to be. We go to the left of Carlos Sainz. We're going to drag race him down the straight. We don't even bother with the ERS because we're just absolutely dominating the AI here. On the brakes we go. We're going to challenge him through the chicane just to make things interesting, and he gets ahead of us. Can we get him into turn 1 though? I think he might be a little bit too far ahead. And yes, he is. We'll have to follow him for a little bit longer. Through the chicane we go again. One of the many chicanes that they have here in Canada. We're looking okay on the intermediates for the time being. Carlos Sainz, again, going quite slow through the hairpin. Maybe it's an issue with the car's reliability. Maybe they got worn components, I don't know. But we have a massive amount of traction on exit. We don't even need the ERS to get up alongside him now. And realistically, at this point, I could just overtake him. But I'm just deciding not to. As we go through the chicane there at the Wall of Champions, we give him space. Actually try and let him fight for it. But ultimately, we have gotten past with 10 laps to go. And this is the reason why. 95 difficulty. 15 above where I was on F1 22. And it's domination. We increased the difficulty after Spain to try and stop myself from winning. But here we are in Canada. It's raining. We're on intermediate tyres, something that I've historically struggled with. Incredibly difficult for me on F1 22 to just keep it in a straight line. On the way. Oh, there we go, actually eating my words as we have a massive moment going through the approach to one of the many chicanes. But still continuing on, just at this point, we were trying to slow down and keep Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen in behind us, but neither of them could actually get past. No matter what I did, bunching up the field, they just would not overtake. So we decided to go as fast as possible and see how far we could put between myself and them. Running quite wide here into the hairpin, but at this point, it doesn't even matter because we're so far ahead of the rest of the field. Because next time out, we'll be increasing the difficulty again to 100, which is higher than I even had it on F1 2021. I think I only got to about 90 on that game. So entering a new era of challenge for me, and hopefully making this a little bit more realistic as we try and pop a drift out of the final corner. We have a massive accident to cross the line and stop on circuit. I mean, we could have had that massive accident on the end of the final lap, the end of the penultimate lap, and still won this race because of the absolute domination that we displayed here in Canada. Carlos Sainz will pick up driver of the day, and unrealistically, we once again pick up a win. There's Max Verstappen congratulating us on what appears to be an impossible feat. We're now, 6 races in, and we've won half of them. Even though we're supposed to be a midfield player, competing with the likes of Mercedes and Aston Martin at maximum for something like a 5th place finish. That appears to be not happening for now, so we'll have to make some changes going forward in the next races. So here are the final results, and you can see just how fast we were with a 1:13.9 fastest lap compared to everyone else. Have a look now if you like. Behind us we had Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen on the podium, then George Russell, Pierre Gasly, Yuki Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Kevin Magnussen, Alex Albon and Valtteri Bottas. And this means over in the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen still remains at the top of the table, but we become the second driver to hit triple figures, to 16 points behind. Then we have Carlos Sainz, Sergio Perez, George Russell, Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris, Fernando Alonso and Pierre Gasly. Joint 11th, we have Esteban Ocon and Yuki Tsunoda, followed by Oscar Piastri, Lance Stroll, Nico Hülkenberg, Kevin Magnussen, Zhou Guanyu, Alex Albon. Valtteri Bottas is now the final point scorer, followed by Nick De Vries, Jack Doohan and Logan Sargent. And over to to the Constructors' Championship. Well, Ferrari are still second behind Red Bull, now 67 points behind them. We're up into third now, just ahead of Mercedes in fourth. Then we've got McLaren, Aston Martin, Alpine, AlphaTauri, Haas, Alfa Romeo and Williams. And that's all for this race. We'll catch you tomorrow for Austria.